大変長らくお待たせいたしました。ただいまよりMACKEVISIONが提唱するシングルソースパブリッシングパイプラインによるコンテンツ制作の効率化と題しまして、株式会社エルザジャパンジェネラルマネージャーのエリック・ボガス様にご講演をいただきます。
Good afternoon. My name is Eric Vogus. I'm the general manager for Mackevision in Japan, and it's a pleasure to see you. Many old faces that I know, former colleagues and customers. So thank you very much for your time today. Only about 25 minutes, so I'll keep things very brief and succinct. But today, my intention is to show you a little bit about what we do with content creation and how we manage pipelines to allow us to accomplish very high quality results for ourselves and also, of course, for our customers. So as far as who Mackevision is, we are a German-based company, and technology and visualization are our passion and our focus. Specifically, we are known for high quality work. Some of you may have heard of us before, and in general, we have won many international awards. If there's an award out there, we have generally had an opportunity to win that. At the same time, we've recently done some work. Almost no one in Japan knows the Game of Thrones series, but we also do the CG effects for that show and are now nominated for an Emmy Award for the season 4 this year. The last and most important point for this talk is that we have a unique CGI pipeline, and this is tailored specifically to automotive demands in particular, but industrial in general. And this is what I'm going to show you how that works today and how it might work for you. So very quickly, you can see we are located all over the world. We are there because our customers are there. We are based in Stuttgart. This is our home base, but we also have offices in Hamburg and Munich, servicing BMW, Daimler, etc. We also have a very large office in Detroit, which handles the automakers there, New York, LA, and of course, we now have representation here in Japan with myself. So moving forward, just very quickly to give you a graphic on who we work with. We have quite a few customers as well. That is automotive. We also work with non-automotive customers. In particular, companies that have used the pipeline like this would be Oakley, for example, to get very spectacular results in a short time for not a lot of money. And lastly, we, of course, work with many advertising agencies to accomplish what the customer seeks to do. So I've already touched on this. We have won numerous awards through the years, and also this year. We push to do this because it shows that we are performing well at our capacity and really trying to push the limit on what can be done and how it can be done well. So in particular, there is one award here which is for the Golf 7 Web Special, and I will show you that in an iPad application at the end of this presentation, so you can see by using this type of a setup what can be accomplished. But before I move on, let me show you a video that was created based on such a pipeline with purely design data recently. Okay, now that 918 Porsche video, we actually won an award for a campaign of 4 videos, of which this was one. And again, the important part to remember is that there was no car yet built to make those commercials. So using really only design data that had come directly from design and based on a very similar pipeline to what I'm going to show you today, this video was able to be made. Now, why are we doing this? I'll be very quick through this, but in general, this is a graphic that went around in the last couple of years showing the needs for marketing groups and for brand communication, how to sell your brand, how to maintain your brand identity and quality. Communication has to go through all media at all touch points, and it has to be extremely recognizable immediately, both through moving images and pictures. These are the things that really stabilize the brand. And so how to develop these quickly and efficiently is the key. So the question is, how many images and videos do you really need to do this? This is what we have seen. Massive content requests are now the norm. Before 2000, we typically did 25 to 50 images for a catalog and about 100 for the internet. Currently, it's about 100 images for a catalog and over 1 million images to make and manage on the internet. And very quickly, we're going to be at 10 million. And in the future, catalogs themselves are in question as far as what they will be, whether they will be needed. But clearly, being able to deliver massive amounts of images to the web is very, very important. Also, before I go on, other customers that we have developed these pipelines for include Daimler-Benz, BMW, we've done Volkswagen as well, and also currently we're doing Hyundai in Korea. So we have a lot of experience doing this, and so these numbers are real. But the basic core philosophy is really simple. It's called single source publishing, and is the idea that you have one single data source that's well managed, well prepared, and that if this is handled well, you can then create all of the assets that you need through all your media channels on any device, et cetera, going this way. So this is our approach to enterprise visualization. It can't just be design. It can't just be manufacturing. All of these different components inside of an OEM have to connect, and they can. Something I'll show you very quickly, again, is this thing called COBA. COBA links all of these things, and it stands for Configuration Backbone. And it's an internal software that we developed to handle our own system and that we now also use to help our customers manage theirs. So when you're handling massive content requests like this, even with one car, with all the rims and front ends and variables, you've got so many variations that ultimately it adds up to be about 2.88 million variations. So how to manage that is extremely complex. And it's important that COBA is there, or a similar solution, in order, along with the expertise, in order to set things up correctly. And here you can just see some of the images that are there as far as market development and complexity. So traditionally, data prep has been done like this, and the CGI workflow has been like this. I think many of you will recognize this particular graphic, so I won't spend too much time on it. But in spite of the fact that I don't have time to show you, I would recommend, if you have time, to please go to vw.com, and you can see how this works. On this website, of which there are many, many, many images, all of these cars are configured in real time. Every single image is configured within 1 second for 2,000 users per minute, for 2,000 users per second. And all images on that site are rendered at about 3,000K. So the layer approach and how you manage those images is obviously very critical to get that result. But in the end, I'll show you something more interactive that will explain this. But on the VW site, all cars are configured at the same time. They connect directly to the inventory system. So all systems are connected via COBA. And so you can go as a customer and see exactly the car that is in your dealer's neighborhood, configured exactly correctly in every image, live. This is the usual thing that we are seeking. The typical system had been that you get a division between the manufacturing side and the marketing side. And the way we've approached this is so that when things are set up correctly in COBA and within the system, it's no longer necessary for the ad agency or for marketing to go back and ask design anything, because everything is already set up. And so this is really the key thing to efficient movement. Very quickly, this is the pipeline as it was set up at VW. On the left, you've got the virtual garage. Of course, just creating this is a very, very big and important step. Once that's created, then you've got COBA, the local logic, all of that, picture shooter, etc. So once you move past this, then you get into actual asset creation, of which there is something called Picture Shooter, which is an online image creation system that can be used between agencies and the marketing group. So with that, though, I'll just jump right into COBA and some explanation there. So what COBA is basically doing is controlling all the part numbers, which are usually in the system, but then also controlling the complete configuration logic and also materials and color information. Okay, so everything runs through here and then eventually drives the other end of the system as well on the output from 3ds Max to Maya, Nuke, whatever. Ultimately, our customers use many different software packages. So for us, we want to support all of those, and COBA plugs into all of those. Another important detail is that set up correctly, and Chrysler is by far the most advanced as far as this goes, but they go all the way back into design. So by the time that their configurations are done, everything is ready for marketing. So it saves a lot of time and a lot of hassle, and also a lot of money. An important point about the VW website is for all of those images, and we set that whole new website up in about 6 months. And the previous website, it was $500 US per image. Now it's $1 per image, just because of good handling. So, again, not much time, so I'm going to move on to something more interactive. This is a quick idea of what Picture Shooter is, simply a way to choose all of your configurations, to put your car together and create ready images on the end, and ultimately output something that's going to be in layers and go to the web like this. Let me show you, again, a film that we created, again, using this type of a system, and again with a car that did not exist. Okay, and with that, I'm going to do a quick switch to the iPad here. Get it out. And show you one more thing that is a little more interactive. Okay. Should be okay. Okay, you guys seeing it? You had it for a second there. Okay, very good. I'm going to be careful to hold this connector in here. But ultimately, we talked about the VW Golf 7 award that was won for that particular campaign.
Do you want to style your Golf first, or would you like to explore the new Golf in all its details?
And again, all of this content was created on the system that you saw before. So I'm going to pick the left side there, because you can't see my finger. Now, the first thing we did was we went and we shot this film in Los Angeles, again, before there was any car available whatsoever, even in data, because lifestyle now is such an important part of development and what marketing groups are trying to convey for their customers.
Most people consider the left side of a face to be more attractive.
Okay.
Which side of the new Golf? The average feel-good distance between people
So we've
is
already moved
64
inside the car
centimeters.
as I push
Just
the enter
another
button.
reason why we
And as I
built
move the
the
iPad
most
around,
spacious Golf
you can see that we
ever.
can fully move inside the car. And the whole idea of this was to get more customer engagement within not only the app, where it had gone from, say, maybe 5 minutes, where the customer would be touching things, to 25 minutes. And most of the time this has been done. But the other thing is the dealer can sit inside the car with the customer and show them different variations while the customer sits there.
By now, you're familiar with all the possible ways to style
So
your Golf on your
I can
iPad.
move this car here,
Now,
of course,
take your
360 in
time
time.
and get
And I can
creative
also
on your own and have
configure
fun.
it. So maybe I'll choose white, and I've already got the Durban wheels, so I'll go for the 18-inch wheels, and then I'll say, okay, I like that, let's drive on. Now the car goes back into the video and then continues with exactly the configuration that you picked through the rest of the video. And of course, at any time, you can go in and style this again. I've got 3 minutes, so I'm going to jump into just a couple of more things. If you're interested, certainly at the end, I'm very happy to share this app with you, and you can touch it yourself and try it and play with it. One particular interesting thing here would be ambient lighting. I'm not sure if the ambient lighting is going to work in this room because it's so dark. But again,
to adapt totally to darkness.
As a way to simulate what's going on with the customer. Oh, good. Actually, yeah. So it's so dark, you can see the iPad via the camera has already turned the lights off in the car. It's really simulating what's in the room. And you can see there in the upper left the actual light power. So now there's not enough light for me to make it bright, so I'm just going to push day. And the lights will turn off, and the sunlight will come back up again. So again, usually this is done by covering the camera or things like this.
But it does need around 35 minutes.
But just again, something very interesting you can do. Again, all done with layers, not done in real time, and again, to get extremely, extremely high quality. Lastly, I will show you the, let's see, to go to performance.
More performance, less consumption, just like the new generation of engines. If you want to know more,
and we can go in and
please tap
configure,
on
choose our engine.
more
I'll choose the
details.
diesel one. And then by sweeping my fingers, I can explode that engine, move around it, and then look for the details. Now, as far as time, we're just about out, so I think I'll close there. But I also just wanted to say thank you very much to TJC and Elsa, who we are working here with here in Japan to support customers wherever we can, for allowing us to be here. And if any questions, please, thank you very much.